McNamara. I know. I don't know if I've met you yet. What's your name, sir?
Mike Searle.
Hi, Mike. Nice to meet you. So, I'm, as always, so thrilled to be here with you. And today, the title of my talk is Daring to Love Greatly. But before I go there, I want to talk about daring greatly to be great. Not a topic a lot of us are used to hearing, not a topic a lot of us like to hear about, because we don't like to think of ourselves of having to appear great. Looking around the room, I think most of us were raised in a generation where that was taboo. We were not allowed to think of ourselves as being great. We were not allowed to think of ourselves as even being good other than behavior-wise, right? Because that was braggadocious. That was a term my grandmother used to do. That's braggadocious, right? And you couldn't do that. You couldn't brag about doing something well, or, it was just unthought of. It was distasteful, I think would be the proper word. And yet, I'm using the word daring today because it's not something most of us has done since we were probably on a third grade playground. I double dog dare you to run and do that, right? That was something we always used to do as kids. I dare you. As we've gotten older, dares are a little more of a risky proposition, not something we generally want to undertake at this point in our lives. But showing up greatly frightens many of us. And it frightens us because with that comes a sense of responsibility, a sense of accountability, and a sense of expectation. Kind of interesting, I had not read the Daily Word today until I walked in here, and yet there is expectation in that as well. But I want to give you something. When I was developing this talk, what came to mind in terms of daring to be great is Unity of San Marcos. Now, I don't know the whole history of this church. I know a little bit, but I know that you used to have your own building. And you gave up the building because it was becoming rather cumbersome. As building age, just like us, they require maintenance, right? And that maintenance can get expensive. So the building was given up. Well, that was a decision that I'm sure for, especially in the leadership of the church and also the members, that's a difficult decision to make. Because it's changing the status quo, it's changing what you've had. But you'd made that decision and you dared to be great. Because giving up the building and coming and finding another place to meet might have been difficult, but you did it anyway. And you're still meeting and you're still showing the greatness. And then Reverend Paula retires. And you didn't just fold, you showed up greatly. You dared greatly to be great and continue to meet and to keep your spiritual family and community together. That says a lot to me. It's not an easy task, but it shows courage, and it always shows greatness. And with that greatness comes love. Now, with expectations comes that human side of us, right? What if I fail? What if I don't succeed in this endeavor? God forbid, what if I do? What if I succeed? Is this expectation going to be with me always? Is there always going to be an expectation that it's going to be great? Because sustaining greatness is a hard thing to do, isn't it? And with it comes a great deal of weight of that. But this community has always done that. The other thing that comes with that is, though, well, maybe I should have. Maybe I would have. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe we should have made that decision instead. Well, I had a minister in San Diego, Dr. Pat Campbell, who used to tell us, don't should all over yourself. It's very unattractive. And I used to love that. She loved the pun on words. And the fear sets in with expectations. What if I can? What if I can't? Now, I know that I have referenced this briefly and paraphrased Marianne Williamson's quote from Return to Love, Reflections on the Principle of Course in Miracles. But I want to read the whole quote because it's very, very poignant to this community and to the season of love that we're stepping into with Lent, etc. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We do that, don't we? We shrink so others can feel large, but it doesn't really make them feel large. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our own presence automatically liberates others. So by this community letting your light shine, other communities that might face the same dilemmas, the same challenges, the same decisions, are given that permission to step out and do the same. And so I commend and am honored that you invite me back to this community over and over again, because it's so uplifting to me to be with a group of people who know that they can. So daring to love greatly. When you step out of fear, you step into love. And we dare to love greatly. I don't know how many of you were, but January 30th marked the beginning of the season for nonviolence. And it's been going on for several years. It's 64 days. It always starts January 30th, which is right on the tail end of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And it encompasses Valentine's Day, and it encompasses the season of Lent, and depending upon the calendar, will sometimes include Easter. Easter's very late this year. It's April 20th, so it's later in the season. But the season of nonviolence has 5 major tenets: respect, understanding, acceptance, appreciation, and compassion. Respect, understanding, acceptance, appreciation, and compassion. Can anybody tell me a relationship that you have with a friend, a family member, yourself, God, a loved one, that doesn't have those same 5 tenets to make it successful? I think the season for nonviolence, coming right with all these things that encompass with Valentine's Day, the celebration of love, I think this is very poignant, because it does encompass all those things when you talk about love and when you dare to love greatly. Loving greatly, though, has to start with loving ourselves. Another concept that we have trouble with. But if you're going to be in a loving relationship with someone else, I will guarantee you it's not going to be a successful relationship if you can't love yourself. If you can't learn to love yourself and step into that, then you've got a problem with the relationship with someone else. Loving greatly starts with ourselves. We are expressions of the divine. We are made in the image and likeness of God. How can we not dare to love ourselves greatly when you can accept that concept that we are children of God? Louise Hay, who is one of my favorites, every year Reverend Gary Kanye in New Braunfels gives us the 365-day calendar, and Megan and I and Connie and I, we look at the picture and we turn it, and I always read what comes at the beginning of the month. This is what it said for February. Love is certainly in the air this month, yet while loving others is of course important, loving myself is vital. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. I am good enough just as I am, and I approve of myself at all times. I know that I am someone special, and I do not wait for others to tell me so. I treat myself like royalty and feel that love and admiration in every cell of my body. And how many of us can honestly say we do that all the time? We don't. It's almost impossible as a human being to fall into that all the time. But we can show ourselves love in little ways. I'm going to give you kind of a crazy example of that. I was cooking a little steak last night for dinner for us, and Connie and Megan were either going to have baked potato or pasta salad, neither of which I wanted. And I found the box of wild rice, long grain and wild rice in the pantry, which I love. But I was only going to be making it for me. And then I decided that was okay. I love myself enough that I can fix something that I really want to eat, because I know I'll eat the leftovers. I'm not wasting. So I did that. That's actually, I know it sounds crazy, but that's a form of self-love. To do something for yourself that you like, that you wanted. That's good. It's okay to do those kinds of things. Louise Hay also says, praise yourself as much as you can. The love in our lives begins with us, and loving yourself will help heal our planet. I don't know about you, but I think our planet can use a lot of healing. So love yourselves a lot so we can heal this planet. Dare to love yourself greatly. And in order to do that, you have to forgive yourself. You have to look at those things in your life that you do as transgressions or whatever, and just forgive yourself. You are greater than any mistake that you make. Remember that. You are greater than any mistake you can possibly make. Ernest Holmes said, God never condemns because God never judges. God never forgives because God never condemns. Wouldn't that be nice if we never condemned? If we never judged? Now, one of the things that always comes to mind to me with judging and that is when I'm driving on Interstate 35, which I don't do very often. I do it when I come here because on a Sunday morning, coming north, there's no traffic. But and it's not even just on the freeway, just when I'm driving, when somebody does something crazy. My father once told me when I was learning to drive, don't be a jerk. Everybody on the road is a jerk. Don't you be one too. Now I'm using the word jerk, paraphrasing my father's vocabulary because he was a Marine. But it was probably the best piece of advice my father could ever give me. Everybody else is a jerk. Don't join them. So I learned to be a very good defensive driver as a result of that. So now when somebody cuts me off or does something crazy, the first thing that comes to mind is, bless them on their way, please get to your destination safely, and don't hurt anybody else along the way. That's all I can wish for. I don't always do that. If somebody does something really incredibly stupid, then I put my driver's ed hat on, you shut up, and go off on my tangent. But I'm learning more and more to just let it go. And the older I get, the easier it actually is for me to just let it go. Because I am a believer in karma. I don't want to be on the police force for karma, but I am a believer that whatever's going to happen will happen and I don't have to control it. I'm just going to let it go by. So now we have to remember to dare to love greatly. So how many people in this room have ever been in a relationship? Okay, pretty much everybody. I happen to know for a fact that some people in this room celebrated an anniversary this week. How many years together, Diana?
Oh, well, our anniversary wasn't this week. It was 26.
December. It's 26 years together. Yay. That's not an easy feat, is it?
No.
No, it's not. Connie and I will be 46 in April, so I know. Yay. I know. Relationships are not easy to do.
46 years?
46 years.
Wow. Man, you're old.
We're old. We're ancient. We're ancient. 46 years together. That's not an easy thing to do. You go through all these changes. Your body's changed. Your mental attitude changed. Your appetites changed. Our temperature controls have changed. I'm always hot, and she's got a blanket on and turning the heater up with the fireplace roaring. So we're on polar opposites on this. But we go through this all the time, right? But those relationships, they're worth it. That's why you stick it out for 26, 46, however many. How long have you and Theron been together?
48, yeah.
Wow.
Theron and Linda, 48 years. Yeah. So we have these romantic relationships, we have these love relationships, but we also have friendships. How many of you have known friends from school? Yeah, that you know people that you've lived around. You have family. You have friends. You have a relationship with yourself. We have a relationship with the divine. And these are things that we dare to love greatly. We dare to step out and expose the bare underbelly, as they say, and be vulnerable. Because we know that within that there will be respect, understanding, acceptance, appreciation, and compassion. The same 5 tenets for nonviolence, which cannot occur without it being in an environment of love. The same 5 tenets are in our relationships. They're there to dare to love greatly. And that's something we really need to look at. We need to dare to love greatly. Some of you know that one of my favorite Sufi poets is Rumi. Rumi said, "Let yourself be drawn by the stronger pull of that which you truly love." Let yourself be drawn by the stronger pull of that which you truly love. Because when you really love something, if you really love doing something or being with someone, that pull, that attraction is there. It's like a magnet. It keeps drawing you in closer and closer. Rumi also said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. We have barriers in our life, don't we? We have walls we build. What's the biggest barrier that you can think of that's in your life? I know what mine is. Mine is me. I am my own biggest barrier. What is that saying? You're your own worst enemy? Yeah. I am my own biggest barrier. And some of that is because of my upbringing. Some of that's the church of my upbringing. Some of it's my parents. Some of it's just things that I've heard and decided that I'm going to embrace that and encompass that and embody that when I shouldn't. Well, how could that person love you? How could she possibly love me when I'm so unlovable? Anybody ever think that? Especially when we were younger kids. Well, I wish that person would ask me out, but I'm not cute enough. I'm not smart enough. There's nothing that I can do that would change their mind. And yet, the stars align and that happens. That perfect thing happens. I can remember meeting Connie and thinking, wow, there's no way. There's no way. And next thing I know, we're friends and we're going out, and now we've been together 46 years. And you have that same attraction with just friends. You see somebody and you listen to them. I'm one of those, I like to call myself a social introvert. Because if I go to a group or a party, I'm the one that would like to kind of sit back and watch for a little while. And I watch how people interact with one another and mingle. And that's how I make a decision on whether I want to approach someone and engage them in a conversation. Because I like to see how they treat others. I don't want to just go up and engage with somebody and find out they're a total jerk because they're unfriendly and because they're unkind and they talk behind people's, I don't want to do that. I want to watch a little bit. And so that's how, and I found that to be very, very successful. I'll sit back and watch a bit because sometimes my first impression of someone is completely off base. I look at them and go, wow, they seem really cool. And then I go, whoa, I don't really want to go in that direction right now. But you have to dare yourself, not challenge. I'm using the word dare very specifically and very directly today. You have to dare yourself to love greatly. Dare yourself to be in community. Dare yourself to establish a love for yourself. Dare yourself to see if you can deepen your relationship with God. Deepen that relationship with Spirit. And the same 5:10, it's not, some people might say, I don't really think of God as something that I would engage with respect and understanding and acceptance and appreciation and compassion, but why not? Do we not have a respect for God? Do you think God doesn't respect us? You don't create something that you don't respect. You don't create something that you don't understand or accept or appreciate or have compassion for. So when you enter the relationship, whether it's with a loved one or a friend or a spiritual family, you have to dare to love greatly. Our task in this life is to remove those obstacle illusions that we have built around our hearts, to open our hearts to being loving, to being able to dare to love greatly. We do that on our spiritual paths. We should be doing that on our spiritual paths. I'm not always the best at it, but I try. On those faith-filled journeys of our souls. Love is a formidable power, isn't it? But it's nothing at all. Love is absolutely nothing if it is not shared. In the Bible, there is a saying, when two or more are gathered in my name, there is love. And I would say that the two in the relationship can also be your inner self and your outer self. That can be the two. And when you can communicate with your inner self, when you can find that synapse, when you can join that, there is love. So what I would like to do is not to challenge you today, but to dare you today to love greatly. Start with yourselves, and then very slowly but surely reach out to the rest of us, because we are waiting to receive that love. Dare to love greatly. Thank you. So, India, if you want to play just a little background, just do a quick meditation here, if we will, together. Just relax in the chair that you're in. Feel the support. Feel the support of that chair firmly under you. And know that if that chair were taken away, there is still a firm support right there with Spirit. We know that we are loved greatly. We are loved greatly by God, by those around us, by this spiritual family. And that support is always there. Allow yourselves to feel that love on a daily basis. Take time each day to love greatly and be loved greatly. Because within each of us is that seed. Within each of us is that lovability. Within each of us, there is a formidable power of love that today we acknowledge and accept the dare to share it openly and greatly. And for this spiritual truth, I give tremendous thanksgiving. I stand in gratitude knowing that this is the truth. And I release this truth to the law of God, knowing that it can only be made so. As together we affirm, and so it is. Amen. And now, I'm going to have India do a beautiful song for us.
All right, so this is a song by Karen Jucker about how you are the light and I am the light and we are the light. And this is a good one to sing along with. It has a chorus that says, I am a light, I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. And then we repeat that 3 more times, so total of 4. Then it's got a couple of verses, but it goes back to that refrain, if you'd like to join me again. At the end, it brings in, you are a light, we are a light, and it goes back to I am a light. So, all right. Anyway, you're invited in case you'd like to participate or clap along even.
I illuminate
no talk is really great unless you've got a great musician with you. And I asked India if she knew this song, and I sent this to her on Friday, so I don't know if you've ever played it before.
No, this is the
So,
first time.
so thank you, India. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Karen Drucker music, and so it was wonderful that she was so sweet to come through with that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do our offertory affirmation. Let's say the affirmation that's in our bulletins here. By the transforming power of Spirit in me, new thoughts of wholeness fill my life with abundance. So we're going to do the offering affirmation. We'll do our offering. I do want to pray us in with this. I want to acknowledge and know that at this moment, what I feel is the love in this room. And these offerings that are given today, these intentions that are set forth today by this very small, very powerful ministry here at Unity of San Marcos is great. This ministry has dared to be great. This ministry dares to be loving. And it dares to continue on and feed everyone present here, everyone within the sound of my voice, everyone that watches these videos later. And it is with tremendous thanksgiving and love that I pour my wonderful, beautiful intentions into this, the congregation here at Unity of San Marcos. And for this I give great thanks. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.